I've known this girl, Andrea, since I was 10. She's been my best friend and my worst enemy, but I love her to death. I started to notice a change in her almost 3 months after I met her. You see, she became erratic, fluctuating from over-the-moon happiness to feeling chronically despondent. She became her worst enemy, drowning out external voices of encouragement and instead replacing them with the thoughts that told her to end it. Thoughts that told her that she'd never mean anything to anyone. She was ashamed to get help and was convinced that somehow this was normal. That somehow her polar moods and urges to etch pretty pictures into her arms to enable some semblance of feeling was a part of growing up, an initiation process into adolescence. There were times in the middle of the night, she'd tell me, where the air was still and the silence was suffocating, that she lay on the verge of shattering into a million tiny pieces. There were times where she'd say she didn't just feel broken. She felt like she was the remnant of an unholy, catastrophic disaster that would take both time and effort to rebuild the damage that she once was, and she wondered, what's the point? Ladies and gentlemen, in 2013, 6,233 people committed suicide in the UK, and this year saw the first of her 2 suicide attempts. That was when she realized she had a problem. After it took her so long to realize that she felt like the weight of the expectation of maintaining her perfect masquerade was too much. After she realized that the word sorry wasn't enough to erase the pain that she'd caused those she loved. That those 5 letters weren't enough to say she never meant to be their disappointment. That she never meant for this pain she caused herself to ricochet and hit them, and she never, ever thought that the scars she left on herself were mirrored in the scars that marred them. But Andrea was one of the lucky ones. You see, she found out she had a problem and she got help before it was too late. But what about those 6,233 people who committed suicide in 2013 with no one around them who chose to hear? What about that one person who commits suicide every 18 minutes, who feels so alone in the world that they decide to end their own life? What I hope you take away from my speech today, ladies and gentlemen, is that keeping your depression under lock and key does not save anybody. Instead, it takes lives. Ladies and gentlemen, speak out and share your story. And I just wanted to say, before I leave, I've never had a friend called Andrea. That's my middle name.